a real separation now. We know who is legit and who's not, and here we go.
Herd hierarchy.
Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to Colin. Number 10.
Buffalo Bills. I think you could make an argument it's the best overall defense in the NFL. They face teams like the Ravens. It's not like they've had an easy schedule. They faced Tom Brady. They faced the Cowboys' weapons, and they faced New England's, and they do a pretty good job of shutting everybody down. They're second in points allowed, third in total defense and pass defense. We can talk all we want about their limitations offensively, but I absolutely believe they're capable of going on the road. This is a kind of team that's built for the road. They're going to keep the score in the teens. Josh Allen can throw the ball over the top. Buffalo's a real football team. They're a playoff team, and they're a legitimate real football team in the AFC, number 10.
Number 9.
Green Bay. I don't see what everybody else does. They're 26 against the run. I think they're a finesse football team. I think the league's figured it out. You don't want to give the league a book on how to beat you. And the teams that are physical, push them around. Now, the thing I do like about Green Bay, they're far less reliant on Aaron Rodgers. And it looks like Aaron Rodgers is totally okay with that. They're 6-1 when Aaron Jones rushes for over 100 yards. So I like that part of it. You don't have to watch them, and Aaron Rodgers has to be amazing for them to win games. He can be good, hit a couple of throws. They're not relying on Aaron Rodgers to do everything, and that is a good thing. But I think their ceiling is really pretty low for a 2 seed.
Number 8.
I wouldn't want any piece of the Titans. The Titans right now lead the NFL since Week 10 in yards per play. That is a huge stat in the NFL. Vegas loves that stat. They are big play. They can grind you with Derrick Henry. I've always thought Mike Vrabel's a good coach. Ryan Tannehill Mariota and Tannehill have some similarities. They're tall guys, good throwers, not great, mobile guys, but Tannehill generally can stay healthier. Clearly the organization, the team likes Tannehill. They're playing harder. Listen, they lead the league in the red zone. That tells you that's another thing they do. They're a good red zone offense. They got a big receiver on the corner. They can pound the ball with Derrick Henry. They get there. They get touchdowns, not field goals. Tennessee at 8.
Number 7.
Minnesota. I think Minnesota and Tennessee have some similarities. I think there's a ceiling at quarterback, but I think Zimmer's an unbelievable coach. Mike Zimmer's a great coach. This is a team that needs to run the football. They're number 4 rushing offense in the NFL, but Kirk Cousins also has 24 touchdown passes. They're doing this a lot lately without Adam Thielen, who's a world-class wide receiver. Delvin Cook's not 100%. They've won 7 of their last 9 games. They've also had a very tough schedule. They've been going through tough road games in Seattle, a lot of tough road game in Dallas, in Seattle. I think they're well coached. I think Spielman's built a great roster. I'm a little worried about Kirk Cousins in the spotlight. They're about the best 7 team I've ever had at this time of the year, because it would not shock me if they got to the NFC Championship. I have that much regard for their front office, their coach, and their roster.
Number 6.
New England. Here's an interesting number with New England, and this is troubling. This tells you a lot about this offense. Tom Brady has passed the ball 522 times this year. Leads the NFL. You really want your 42-year-old quarterback leading the NFL in pass attempts? You know what that tells you? Their running game stinks too. You can bang on Brady, but they're not running the football. And that's an offensive line issue because, James White and Sony Michel are fine. So they're forcing Brady to throw to rookies, undrafted guys, Julian Edelman. They don't have a running game component. Now, they are league-leading plus 19 turnover differential, and they've blocked 4 punts. So they're going to get better field position. They're going to outsmart you. They're going to block an occasional punt. They're going to take the ball away from you and almost never give it back. So that gives them a puncher's chance in these big games with more talented teams.
Number 5.
Kansas City. Now, here's the good news with Kansas City. Ever notice they're never out of games? They're the only team over the last 2 years not to lose a game by over 7 points. That's the Mahomes factor, the Andy Reid factor. But I will say this. I thought Sunday that game should not have been that close. They do not run the football very well. So when they get leads, they can't crush the clock and eat the clock. They're in too many close games for their talent. But let's be honest, Mahomes is terrific. He's playing hurt, and I give him an A+ for playing hurt Sunday. According to a report, Andy Reid had to scale back the offense at halftime. They just couldn't make certain throws. His hand was in pain. They're a good team. Situationally, Sunday, a lot of stuff worried me.
Number 4.
Seattle Seahawks. Listen, don't take too much from this. Okay, they played a series of big games. It's a classic Pete Carroll defense. 29 takeaways. That is so Pete Carroll. They've got Diggs playing safety, Jadeveon Clowney. They've added 2 nice defensive players. They do a lot of things well. They're 3rd in rushing, so they can pound the ball. Again, they're a little bit like Minnesota. They can beat you a couple ways. They can run the football, but they're also 3rd in passing percentage, 5th in total offense. Now, I did think this past Sunday night, they became very reliant on Russell Wilson, didn't come in with a great game plan. But I don't think you can lose too much here. They bring a lot of smoke. They got a great coach and a great quarterback. They're both Hall of Famers. Excellent GM. This is a nice roster. I don't think it's a great roster. I don't think they're Baltimore, New Orleans, San Francisco. I just trust their quarterback and coach in the playoffs.
Number 3.
The Saints, the New England of the NFC. Not much of a vertical component, but brilliant coach, old brilliant quarterback, and one dominant possession receiver. Now, I do think their defensive pass rush is better than New England, but they do not turn the ball over at all. I thought Drew Brees looked unbelievable. I've seen that defensive line eat up Aaron Rodgers, Baker Mayfield. I thought Brees was unbelievable. I think Drew missing 5 games because of an injury is actually a huge benefactor to Drew right now. And Michael Thomas is on fire. I don't know why he's always that open. Drew Brees on fire. New Orleans is better than I thought, but I still don't know if they can take this act on the road to a San Francisco or somebody like that and win a playoff game.
Number 2.
Niners. Head coach A, quarterback I think A, D-line A. There's a lot to like about this team. What I like about San Francisco, they can beat in so many ways. They can run the football. They can go power. George Kittle, they can do it with wideouts. They can suffocate you with their defensive line. They can take the ball away. It's a power running game, really. Mike Shanahan's kid, Kyle, runs a lot of that power zone offense. They can just power the football, fullback first, pick up big chunks. I like teams, as the weather turns and you face a variety of great athletes and coaches in January, they can beat you 4 or 5 different ways. They can slow it down, eat the clock. They can go big play. They're good in the red zone. This feels like a Super Bowl team to me. Only thing I worry about is Garoppolo on the road, big spot. Does it engulf him a little bit? I don't think it does, but that's my only concern.
Number 1.
I mean, we're not trying to be contrarian here. Baltimore's beaten all the best teams. They beat Seattle in Seattle. They beat San Francisco. I mean, they in a weird way, their loss to Kansas City's great because they'll probably have to play Kansas City or New England again. They lost to Kansas City. I like the matchup. And I can remember watching that game, and Kansas City jumped on them at Arrowhead really quick, and they got down. But there's just not much to – they're averaging 33 points a game. Since Marcus Peters arrived, I think they're more aggressive and better defensively, well-coached. Lamar Jackson's better than I thought, faster than I thought, and his efficiency is remarkable for his age. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.